Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick, and this is Pre-Market Info.
And I'm Joel Elconin. On today's show, we'll discuss how quiet the markets have been ahead of the Fed decision tomorrow. Pfizer and U.S. Steel beat, but Humana Coach and Seagate disappoint. Apple over 600 again, and we'll analyze some very important resistance levels: Chevron Corporation, Exxon Mobil, and J&J.
Well, this market has held this range here again from yesterday. We had a really tight range. We talked about breaking over that key resistance area of 1376 on Friday. That became support yesterday, and it appears to be support again here today in this quiet, muted action ahead of the Fed.
Yeah, that 1376, I would have considered that a soft number, but that ended up holding up in the Globex and the day session. Need our traders to focus on the 1387.50 level. That was our high from yesterday. That also coincides with Friday's high, 1386, and the day session high is 1386.50. So either a triple top or a breakout to new highs.
Well, it's going to be quiet. We knew it was going to be quiet in these couple of days here. We do have the Fed started their two-day meeting today. They'll give their FOMC decision tomorrow. We have unemployment data coming out on Friday, so we have a plethora of data here coming out here in the next few days, obviously. I think consumer confidence is this week too, is it not?
I believe it's today at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so you got lots of data coming out here, and I think that's why you're seeing such muted action. We haven't had a lot of earnings reports here either. We have a lot of little mid caps reporting, but nobody major except Pfizer today, who just reported earnings. And Pfizer actually trading this morning above that $24 level that we have been talking about on the show for quite some time. I'm still challenging whether it's going to open over 24 when it comes to New York and the real liquidity comes in at the 9:30 open. They did beat 62 cents versus 54. They announced that they will be continuing their buyback program, anticipating buying back $5 billion worth of stock in, or $5 billion, worth of stock in 2012. So lots of good news out of Pfizer. Just that 24 level, that's a critical level here, though.
Well, somebody didn't think so in the pre-market, as Pfizer traded up to 24.35 when the news was released. 150,000 shares have traded, which is mere pittance compared to the millions of shares it trades during the day. That $24 level definitely will be critical on the open. There will be some good size there. Just looking longer term on Pfizer, it traded 24.50 back in December of '07. Remember that? Do you remember that back that far, Dennis?
Man, I don't know if I can remember that back that far. I'm a shorter term trader, but I'm looking at the charts here, and I believe you, I can see where it started. So we're going back a lot of years to get up to these levels.
Yeah, so get your order out at 24.49 because there'll probably be a couple million shares at 24.50.
Big number.
Just coming back on the downside, when you get a big up opening and up activity in a stock, it's always good to use the prior day's high, 23.84, if you're trying to protect some profits on the long side.
So keep an eye on that 24. We do take that 24 level out. Remember, we were above there quite a bit here in the pre-market, as Joel has cited, so the stock could start to run if it take out 24 earlier on. We're trading 24.05. Again, I think this might open around 24 in New York, and then if it obviously can start getting above that level, then it can move higher. But the 24 is going to be your bogey on this one. A couple other ones, smaller ones reporting. Coach, C-O-H, absolutely getting murdered here in the pre-market. I didn't think the numbers were that bad, but they were light on the guidance. They just punish stocks when they miss here, and these retailers, we know they're volatile often after their earnings reports. Coach isn't disappointing from a volatility perspective, down at 52.20 right now after closing at 60.58. So we are actually trading below the low of the move, which was 53.26, set on July the 12th. So not good news for Coach shareholders.
Have you ever bought anything there?
I've never bought anything from Coach, and I'm scared if my wife goes in there too because everything is very expensive.
I think I bought a wallet there once, and I had it for about 9 years. But anyways, looking at the pre-market activity, we got a dip to 50.32. Now, we talk about different formations you see in the pre-market. After we've hit that 50.32, we've had a pretty steady climb up here to 52.75. So let's use that 50.32 as major resistance, or
Major
major
support.
support. 52.75 is major resistance. Going longer term on the monthlies, if you really have a passion for buying this stock, the low in October of 2011 was 48.37. Don't think we're going to get there today.
Hard to say though. Expect volatility in this one. It falls $8, it could easily fall another 4. I don't think it's going to get there today either, but anything is possible in these retailers. They really move. Expect stocks like Ralph Lauren, expect stocks like VF Corp to have sympathy moves. They're trading a little bit down in the pre-market. Ralph Lauren's down at 144, but they do trade. A lot of these high-end retailers do trade together, and when you see one getting killed this much, it's hard to not imagine it getting into the other ones as well. So I'd expect some relative weakness in VF Corp and Ralph Lauren, as well as other of the other ones in the sector.
Not bad volume associated with this. 350,000 shares are traded in the pre-market so far today, and so not bad volume, almost a tenth of the average daily volume.
Humana got killed last night too. Joel will find you where it traded down to after hours. This morning it's trading at 64.68, so I think this got down to the low 60s last night. Obviously, they missed earnings here and not good overall news in that sector because a lot of other stocks are trading down in sympathy. But one, Aetna, which is another stock, obviously healthcare provider, it's actually reported earnings too, and Aetna is trading up. So you've got two stocks. You've got Humana down significantly, but Aetna holding up here a bit, trading up 80 cents. So, but what's your take on the Humana?
Well, someone got a little carried away as the pre-market low is 60.53.
Okay, that was last night. Yeah, $60.53. Wow.
Yeah, I think I'd make a little wager there if you're up for it. I won't trade that. But anyway, since we've hit that 60.53, we've had a nice 4-point rally. So yeah, you see this stock got down $6. It's actually rallied 4. The first resistance point is not up to the $66 level. 66.50 is where it first traded when the news came out. If you're going back to take a look at this stock on a longer term chart, boy, oh boy, oh boy, 60 is a nice round number. I do see some lows going way, way back to March of 2011. You hit 62.02, so I think that'd be a more tradable level than that 60.53.
And keep an eye on stocks like UNH, stocks like CI. We're not going to do technicals on them all. We don't have time for them all. CI is another one. WLP, WCG. These are all in the same sector. They're going to be bouncing around. They're going to be volatile today. You've got Humana driving them down. You've got Aetna maybe saying holding them up a little bit and helping the sector a bit. But overall here, I'd expect some weakness in this sector. One stock that is still taking off here is Apple. We are above 600 again.
Right back in it with Apple.
Unbelievable. We obviously had the gap down from earnings, hung out down there in that 570 area, made the triple bottom that you had cited on our weekly outlook, and basically off to the races here, filling the entire gap yesterday.
Yeah, well, the close pre-earnings was 600.92. We're trading above that level. I don't see any major resistance up to 609.68. Now that's a little bit of a stretch here to go up another $7, but it is Apple. Take a look at the pre-market high if you want to maybe get out of a long you took overnight. 603.38 was the pre-market high. Apple on a tear once again. I guess you have to use yesterday's high as support now at 598.51.
Other ones we wanted to highlight here in the Big Ten here. There's some key resistance levels we are coming up to. Chevron is one. This 110 area has been huge. There's been some institutional selling pressure up there. It topped out yesterday just below it at 109.93. Trading below it here again at 109.82. 110 is huge on this. Starts to take that out, then we can start talking about moving up to the 52-week high area. But this 110 is going to be big resistance. You know the high frequency guys, they love to lean on that size, and they're probably sitting in the 109.90s.
And you're one of them.
Well, I actually do have a trade on in Chevron as well, so we'll disclose that too. I'm not one of the high frequency traders, but I do have a position on in Chevron this morning.
Yeah, the that 109.93 high from March 20th was an excellent number. As we got right to that level yesterday, right on the button. So there's your number. If you want to just stay out of that thing and let the big boys play at 110, and then it breaks above 110 and goes up like 10 or 15, and you're not immediately trading at 110.50, you may want to look at that as a potential short as it comes back down through the 110 as all the people that played the breakout are scrambling to get out. Just since we're talking about Chevron Corporation, you got to talk about its brethren here, Exxon Mobil.
Yep.
Missed Friday's high by 2 pennies. Big size at 88 here. Looking at the dailies, boy, we've taken a lot of pokes at this level.
Haven't we? Wow.
Yep, 87.94 you hit in January. You made a little run at it in February. It's like a monthly thing here.
Even if you go back into 2011, we were poking up here a lot too.
Yeah, actually, the February 2011 high was 88.23. So, man, those GTC orders are out there.
That's GTC. Good till canceled orders is what those are. And basically, you have a lot of institutions that will throw out good till canceled orders. They just want to get out. If it gets back up to 88, I will sell it. And they sit those orders out there indefinitely until they get printed. But the traders, and especially the high frequency traders, figure out where those orders are and they step in front of them and they lean on those orders for protection. Like we've said before, high frequency traders have very low profit margins, so they need to lean on other orders for protection. And when they see those sizable institutional orders, they do lean on those, and that's why you see this stock sometimes top out multiple times in the 87.80s, 87.90s, as those high frequency guys are leaning on that whole 88 area.
And just to final thought on that, what people have to understand is when they're have an order at 88 in something like ExxonMobil that's sitting there for years, all the trades that go off at 87.99999 are trading ahead of them too. They have absolutely no priority in the book.
Yeah, well, then that's the whole problem with high frequency trading overall. It's basically the high frequency traders always are at the top of the queue, which puts everybody else at the back of the queue. I mean, that's the overall gripe here from high frequency trading. It's that they basically are pressing everybody else, and you miss executions because of it. Moving on, Johnson & Johnson, $70. Same thing we're talking about, these critical resistance levels. Big institutional size up there in the 70 area. It topped out 2 days ago just below 70, 60, well, 69.68. But then yesterday, 69.65. So you kind of got a little double top thing going on here. But this stock starts to get up. In the 70 area, definitely's got resistance. In the 69.90s, high frequency trading resistance.
Also, just to give a little more credence to that 69.70 level, that is the 52-week and multi-year high that it hit on July 19th, backed up by the size there at 70. Also, just another nail in the coffin for the resistance here. 69.97 was your high back on September 25th of '08.
It's got a few other movers here. U.S. Steel is one that reported. It's actually trading higher here. This has been a dog all year, but every dog has its day, and it looks like today U.S. Steel is having its day, trading up 19.74. The numbers are impressive, 69 cents versus estimates of 74. But these are the kind of stocks, it seems like every time these things get spikes, they find sellers. There's so many people underwater in this. I'd be shocked if this thing doesn't have huge resistance around that 20 area, because it looks like a big number to me. But I'd even be more shocked if this thing holds up, because it's starting to look weak here already.
Well, the news algos kind of might have bit the dust on this one, as it traded as low as 18.69 in the pre-market.
Lower,
boy, before skyrocketing and trading to $20 level. So that's adding a little bit of credence here to that $20 level that Dennis just mentioned. 20.05 was the July 19th high, so major resistance there. Not much volume associated with the stock. The trade's pretty good volume, so keep an eye on that $20 level. If we go into retreat mode, 1927 and 1930 was a double top from Friday and Monday, so that should provide support. Doesn't make you want to go out and buy like a couple 100,000 Alcoa.
Not really, no. That some of these stocks have just been weak for so long. Another one that's been weak here for a while, Dendrion, and they reported too. And there's just another one, DNDN, trading down again, another 15%. I mean, if you're trying to pick bottoms in stocks like these, I think you always it just and they end up going lower eventually. Like they, obviously they had bad news with their drug quite some time ago. Everybody wanted to buy that on the big gap down, which when it went from 35 to like $12 back in July of last year. It's hung out here for a while. It's tried to rally, but just kind of continues to drift lower. Trend is not your friend if you're long this thing, and it's making new lows again here today.
Yeah, as much as it's making new lows there, 463 is where it's hit in the
Come on,
pre-market.
did it get that low? Wow.
463, and since then it's been on a pretty steady climb, actually trading at the high of near the high of the pre-market session. 531 was the pre-market high, so keep an eye on that level. The top of the gap from the news is 574. You can't ignore the volume on this one. 1.6 million shares have traded
Big
on
volume.
stock that trades anywhere from 4 to 6 million a day.
Yeah, so big volume. This move obviously backed up by volume as well. Well, overall thoughts on the market here. You're saying we got consumer confidence. We also got that Fed decision tomorrow. I expect the market to probably still be quiet ahead of that Fed decision. Are we going to get a hint of QE3?
I thought Maria Bartiromo already confirmed that we're having QE3 last week. You know what? I'm thinking that they might, I don't know if they might do a straight QE3. They might do something like an Operation Twist, which I'm still trying to understand the full implications of. I don't know. I'm not looking for a full-out QE3, but who knows? I don't think the Fed's going to disappoint this market. Just recapping the S&P, super major resistance here, 1387.50. I can't speak enough about that level. Coming back on the downside, if you get a bad consumer confidence number, taking out 1376. Really no major support down to Friday's intraday low at 1360.50, but I don't think we'll see that today.
Well, we apologize for the audio troubles here today. We know we're having a little bit of audio troubles, and we will get that worked out, the bugs there for you tomorrow. Not sure what's happening with our audio today, but we'll definitely be back with you guys here tomorrow, and we hope you guys have a good trading session.
Yep, we're technicians, just not with computers.
Have a good day.